I noticed that when he's talking about how he had to go to hearings on these child molestation charges, that he keeps making reference to, you know, him being locked up and being in the public eye for child molestation while he's locked up. He keeps making reference to that. That seems to be something he fears. He fears that. That's something that he fears. And I'm trying to figure out, why would you fear something that you know that you're not guilty of? You fear something that you know you're not guilty of. Well, I guess for him it's enough that the words were spoken about him. I think that's what it is. And he didn't want to be branded that while he was back there, because he fears the consequences from the stories that are told about being known for child crimes while you're in prison. It is something that he fears. So all I can say is, right now, Miss Chantel's story is adding up to me, because she's only making reference to the oral allegations that were taking place. She said they were taking place before that part of it was taking place before the father went to prison. And this is what led to the allegations that were put on him during the time he was in jail. And this is what he was getting seen, these hearings and stuff, while he was in jail waiting for the trial, the other charge of stabbing. So these things were taking place simultaneously. When the father was telling Tasha K about the two baby mothers and the allegations with the children, that's what he was speaking on. Part of that had to deal with Miss Chantel's allegations that she told her mother about what her father was doing to her. Okay, so far it's making sense that she may have been just molested in that way and abused in that way first, which could have also been strategically done. That could have also been strategically done to limit the evidence. So it would have started with that first. And then it would have progressed. So it's very possible that Miss Chantel was being abused one way first, as like a workup to the next level of abuse. So Tasha K asked Miss Chantel, when did he stop? So first she asked Miss Chantel, when did it start? And Miss Chantel said around 11 or 12. She remembers it being after he got out of prison, but she can't give the definitive on whether it was 11 or 12. She said one of the two. So she said she can't remember the age exactly, but she can tell you the time frame it was, which was that the next level after the oral was the physical, which did not happen until after the father got out of prison for the stabbing. Okay, so remember, Miss Chantel said that her father was in prison when she was in between the ages of 9 and 11. Her father was in prison. So that would have meant that her father was more than likely in jail the years prior to that, because that's when the hearings and stuff were going on for the allegations made by the two baby mothers. So far, that's what I got. That's what I gathered from the two about what's going on. Now remember, I made note of the father saying that he wasn't around Miss Chantel during the ages of 9 and 11, that he didn't get Miss Chantel back until she was 13, is what he said. He said when he got Chantel back from her mother, she was 13. Did anybody pick up on the fact that one of the reasons why the father said that Miss Chantel would be coming out with these allegations against him in the present? He said it's because now it's about clout. So he's insinuating that Miss Chantel is chasing money now. So she's selling the story for money. This is what he's insinuating. But this is the excuse right now. Before, when the allegations came up in her childhood, during the time he was in jail and had to get all these tests and stuff done and go to all these hearings about injustices against children, he also gave the excuse that she was following behind the mothers. That got her nowhere then. It was the mothers who were influencing her then. So that was the excuse then, that the mothers were influencing her. A distraction from the truth is what it was. Because he's doing it again now. Distracting you from the truth by telling you the reason she's doing this is because she's chasing money. So you don't see how this man is avoiding accountability still? He's still avoiding accountability for these actions, for his actions involving these situations. He's still avoiding accountability. That's exactly what I see. Why? Because these allegations would reflect his imperfections. He doesn't seem to be somebody who's willing to own anything that deflects from what he's showing you. So what he wants you to know and what he wants you to understand is more important to him than you knowing his imperfections. That's what I see with this, what's going on with this man. Remember I said that the father is jumping all over the place with his timelines and his story? So I'm just listening to him again, and he says Chantel didn't come live with him again until she was 13. But remember, he said that he had custody of his kids ever since they was 4. Chantel was 4 years old. But then he also said that it took him about 7 or 8 months to go and get to be able to get his kids out of foster care. Huh? So he's the father did allege that Miss Chantel was not telling the truth about him taking her to the gas station to do pregnancy tests. When Mrs. Chantel alleged that he did take her to the gas station around the time that she was 11. So
Right.
we have a timeline here. He didn't have no contact with her. She was 10, 11, and 12. That's what he said. Excuse me. 10, 11, and 12. And then he said that she didn't come live with him until she was 13. Miss Chantel seemed to have pointed out a period of time here with those ages that she gave, where she said that her father was in prison when she between the ages of 9 and 11, right? So the father is saying that he had no contact with her during the ages of 10, 11, and 12. So now I'm beginning to think that there is a span of time that he is attempting to disassociate himself with. That's what I believe. That this is a span of time that he's trying to disassociate himself with. And remember I said something about disassociation earlier when I was talking about the attacker using the blindfold on their target. That could be possibly what they were doing. And yet here we are again in a situation where it seems as though this man is attempting to disassociate himself with a period of time that was given. I find that to be very interesting. And I also want to point out that I noticed that every time he gives an answer around something that could link him directly to something, like for instance a time or a place, or a mark or something. If it's something like that, he kind of skirts around in a response. He doesn't give a direct answer. It's fumble a little, like it's a little fuzzy. It's a gray area type of answer or response. The details surrounding it is funny. And he will lick his lips. He'll lick his lips too when he's not telling the truth, or when he's being deceptive about something, not when he's withholding something. I noticed that too. He'll look away, his eyes are going to move into the side, and he'll start licking his lips. That's what I'm noticing with this father. Oh my gosh, this is a lot. Okay. So Miss Chantel says that her alleged abuser would blindfold her when she would perform these oral acts on him. This is hard to listen to. It's hitting home for me. But she says that she believes the reason why he blindfolded her was so she could not provide a description of the view. It's very, very believable to me. It's so disgusting to sit here and listen to this, because not only was she a child, she was 5, and this was allegedly her parent. Okay, so I remember the dad saying that the first time that Chantel reached out to him was when she called him after the altercation with her ex-boyfriend. The dad said that was the first time that Chantel reached out to him in 3 years. But Miss Chantel said that she reached out to her father prior to asking him if she could come and live with him, because there was a DCF case going on where she could potentially lose her child. I don't remember the dad referencing that Miss Chantel reached out to him in regards to the situation going on with a DCF case involving her child. I don't remember him talking about that. I do remember him saying that she had a CPS case going on in South Carolina, but he said that he dealt with that for her. I'm a little confused. Okay, so I'm still listening to Miss Tasha K interview Miss Chantel, and Miss Chantel is like, hold on, let me go back real quick, because Tasha K was trying to go to another question, and she was like, hold on, let's go back real quick, because Tasha K made reference to her not finding any kind of case where Chantel was, where she was alleging that this was happening with the dad. And so basically her team, Tasha K's team, couldn't find anything about these types of investigations on her. So Miss Chantel wanted to clear something up. She said, hold on. She said, let's go back to what you said, because you're trying to make it seem like, this didn't happen. But she said, Miss Chantel said, I have reported my father. I went to people and told them about my father. When CPS comes to investigate, it's only me telling these people what this man is doing to me. Now you gotta understand, she's how old at this time? She's a child. And for some reason back then, it just seems like whenever a child was speaking about something important like that was happening to them, motherfuckers was turning their fucking eye. She's not the only one that went through abuse like this. She's not. She's not the only fucking one. And she's not the only... Let me tell you something. I came up a little bit before her, but kind of in the same time frame, where it just seems like we were not being heard as children when we were telling on the people who were abusing us. It's like motherfuckers didn't care. Either they didn't care or they were too cowardly to deal with the situation. So they just shrugged it off. This fucking didn't pay it no damn mind. So I believe her when she said that she told people, but she was a child. She could only explain so much. She only knew how to explain so much. And with no support. Because she says that she had her brothers and the ex-wife in the house telling the investigators the opposite. That none of it was happening. So she's the only one telling the investigators that this is happening. None of the other family members in the home are backing her. None of them believe, either they don't believe her or they want to paint the picture that she's lying. She also says that this man has coached us to lie. And Tasha K's like, who's us? She said everybody. She said me, my brothers, the current wife. She said, Ms. Chantel said, this is what he does. He coaches them on the lies to tell. Now, I want you to think about that, because the father made reference to what Chantel told the investigators when she was questioned without her parents. So the dad said. The dad said, you got to question them outside the parents, the mothers, because they're watching everything she does and watching everything she says and kind of basically trying to tailor it to what they want her to say. But in all actuality, it sounds like, given the information that Ms. Chantel just told me, that he was the one doing this. He was the one coaching his daughter. Because she just said that he coached them on how to lie. I absolutely believe that. I absolutely believe that. It's nothing for a child to try to get help and support outside of their authority or their guardian or whatever, their abuser possibly, and then for their abuser to manipulate them or coerce them into not doing so. By what? Giving them what they want, promising that they're not going to do it again, saying stuff like, I take care of you. If they take me away, how am I going to do that? Like, it's ways to get into a child's mind. So Miss Chantel is saying that the father was coaching the children, and the wife, ex-wife, the current wife as well, because Miss Chantel says she got conversations with the current wife's mother. I'm just telling you. But the reason why I brought that up about her having to go back and basically check Tasha K about trying to imply that the cases on her father or whatever could potentially not be true. She had to check, like, hold on. They happened. I did tell people. They did nothing. You know why I believe her? It's because the shit happened to me. The fuck you mean? She's a child. The same shit happened to me. I was a child. Going up against the word of adults. And when you're questioning her about, you know, why she would put her daughter back in that type of situation, if she remembers what happened to her, she gonna put her daughter in that situation with her father? Who the fuck are you? Do you know what she was going through? Were you in that situation? You never know what the fuck is going on with somebody. Okay? And to sit here and think that an abused victim doesn't go back to their abuser, you're stupid. You're stupid. Go do your research. Go do your fucking research. And a child has even less resources where they can go to. So she went back because her concern was her fucking daughter, not his ass. Because at this point, she's grown. She can defend herself and her daughter. She's grown at this point. Completely different situation. But if I'm in a situation where I'm faced with either losing my child and being on the streets to escape an abusive situation, or my child having shelter where I know I can support and provide for her, even if it's in the home of my abuser, she's getting everything that she needs. We're not on the street. And we don't have to see him because he drives trucks, so he ain't never home. What the fuck do you think she's gonna do in that situation? Continue to deal with the fucking abuse and possibly be on the street and lose her child? Or put herself back in this hard fucking place to be as a abused victim? But understanding that she has to take care of her daughter. What the fuck you think she's gonna do? What do you think she's going to do? Because if I was her and I had to make that choice, I'm not going to fucking tell you that I would be on the street. Not when the circumstances are not the same anymore. I'm not a child anymore. You can't manipulate my mind anymore. And I'm doing this for the sake of my daughter's safety and security. I would tell anybody who say that, oh, you crazy, I would have slept on the street. That's your fucking business. And as an individual, you get to make that fucking choice. But guess what? You can't say what the fuck you would do in all situations. Some situations, you might think you know what you're going to do until you're in the fucking situations. So yeah, I support what the fuck she did. Yeah, I support the choices she made. And yes, I support her when she says that she absolutely told people. And she had no fucking support, no backing. And she's a child. And of course she was going to need some fucking... She needed... It had to be a situation where there was evidence on her body, which he made sure not to leave. It had to be evidence on her body or something that they could fucking see. Or an adult or another witness would have had to back her. And none of them was doing it. None of the people she was around was doing it. If everybody in the household telling the police that this shit didn't happen, and she's the only one as a child telling them that it did happen, who the fuck do you... Unfortunately, back then, they were more apt to believe the majority. because we all know that that's power in numbers. If the brothers knew this shit was going on, but they were complicit in the offenses, of course they're not gonna fucking speak. And of course neither one of them gonna tell the mother or the stepmom. Neither one of them is gonna tell her. But that shows how much the stepmom knows. That shows how much she fucking knows. It's clear to me that for somebody who say that they were raised in a household where foster kids came to live, you were never able to fucking connect to them. That's what I can tell you. You were never able to connect to those fucking kids. You were never able to relate to those fucking kids. Never. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. A lot of them are coming from abuse. A lot of them had to deal with abuse in the foster homes. Ain't nobody gonna be able to tell me shit about no fucking foster homes. Or the foster parents. Or the foster children. Ain't nobody gonna be able to tell me shit about no abused victim. I'm telling you now, I'll go up against this fucking, the brother, dad, stepmom, and anybody else trying to say that this young lady was not abused, because I'd call you a fucking liar. I'd call you a fucking liar, and I wasn't there. And I'm telling you, she was abused. And yes, I believe her when she says she got no fucking backing. Y'all are proving that still today. None of you are trying to listen to her. None of you are trying to see what the fuck she's saying. And if the brother was complicit, your day is coming. Just like your father's. Your day is coming. Trust me, it's coming. Your sister even said that she forgave you. And I'm going to say that all of this is allegations because at this point, that's what it is. But I'm telling you my opinion. I'm telling you my opinion. And my opinion is that it's possible you were complicit in your dad's bullshit with his daughter. I don't give a fuck. This lady was abused. I could tell she was abused. I recognize the same shit in her that goes through me or went through me as an abused victim. A childhood abused victim. And like I said, I've been through all the different kinds. Including the ones she's talking about. Including the ones Miss Chantel is alleging. So, she's not lying. I haven't sensed a lie in this young woman yet. But that father, whole nother fucking situation. Whole nother fucking situation. But believe me, when she says that everybody was lying, and she was the only one telling these people what was happening to her, and they decided to close the fucking case because they couldn't find anything, I believe her. Because it was nothing for adults, especially family members, to deny. Oh, and let me go ahead and say this. She tells Tasha K, you say you did your research, but I got I got phone recordings of the. So Miss Chantel is saying that she has recordings of the current wife's or the wife's mother. Okay, let me say this over. Miss Chantel is saying that she has recordings of the wife's mother admitting to her knowledge of the abuse. So my question is, did Tasha K investigate? Did she find that out? Did she know that prior to Miss Chantel? Because it don't look like she did. It don't sound like she did either. But understand, the mother don't live in the household. She's not affiliated with the family every day, so she don't know the ins and outs. But if she can speak on the abuse that she noticed, well, there's a support. There's support right there for what Miss Chantel said, even if it ain't coming from in the fucking house. So that right there should tell you something. Just because you got other people living in the house and all, doesn't mean that they can't turn a fucking blind eye. Why wouldn't they? Why is that so hard to fucking believe when they were doing it in those times? Like in the 80s and the 90s, they were doing that shit. They were doing that shit. Children were trying to let you know, as we were told by school and everybody else, if something has happened to you, or stranger danger, whatever the case, you need to tell somebody. We're here to help. Tell a parent, tell an authority figure. That's what we were told. And then you go to do it. This is what happened to me. This is what's going on. And because there's no proof, and she's not getting any support. No support from the people who's supposed to be there to support her. Nothing happened. So it was happening back then. You think if they took that position back then, it ain't far-fetched that they're taking the same position now. Especially if the other side of that would bring shame to the entire family. Remember, that's a word the dad keep using. Y'all better wake up. So Miss Chantel says that she has the recording with her. So she's about to play the recording so that Tasha K can hear what the mother has to say. It's interesting because now that she goes to get proof to show her, to let her hear something, Tasha K is now saying that we did find one police report of a situation where you called the police on your dad in Fort Worth, Texas. So I'm going to assume this has to do with the pot of grits incident. Okay, so Tasha K is saying that this report is in reference to Miss Chantel telling or saying that she could give the police proof that the dad had been R-wording her. That's what Tasha K is talking about. So Miss Chantel is clearing up the fact that she did not tell the police at that time, at the time of the incident where the police came to the house where the dad made reference to showing the police proof that he was circumcised. So this is this situation. Miss Chantel is saying that she didn't make a report. They arrested her and she went straight to jail. So it wasn't like they talked. She said it was a situation where police was talking to her and they were taking down notes or information and stuff like that. When they got there, they arrested her and took her to jail. So Miss Chantel says at this time that the police are there when she got arrested, that her baby was 6 weeks old at this time. The dad said that the baby was 3 weeks old at the time. What the fuck? Now either he's referencing two different situations here and trying to bring them in to make it seem like it was one incident, or he just straight up lied. He's just straight up lying. I mean, what the fuck? So you said that baby Ava was 3 weeks during this time. Miss Chantel is saying that baby Ava was 6 weeks at the time this happened. What's going on here? What is going on here? Yo, so Miss Tasha K is asking her, and mind you, I don't like the fact that Tasha K keep interrupting Chantel as she's talking. It's almost like Tasha K is not interviewing her to listen. It's almost like she's interviewing her to it's almost like Tasha K is interviewing her to contradict her. She's not really listening to get her own interpretation or her own understanding as if she's being objective. I said this before, that I didn't feel like this is the tone that she was taking with Miss Chantel. It was more subjective to me. And it still sounds like that. Because what's funny is the way what Tasha K asked her in the middle of Chantel trying to explain something. So in the middle of Miss Chantel trying to explain something, Tasha K asked her about something the wife told her in the previous interview. The ex-wife told Tasha K about an incident concerning Chantel being in a car and flooring it with baby Ava in the driver's seat of the car, and the baby was only, I think, a couple weeks. This is what the ex-wife said in the interview. Now, Tasha K is interrupting Chantel in the middle of her explanation and saying, okay, so did you have your baby in the front seat of the car and the baby fell? So Chantel is like, and it sounds like you've been talking to his ex-wife, because that's what the ex-wife said. Just like that. Just like that. She pinpointed who the fuck said it. She knew. Oh my God. I am telling you. And she ain't backing down. She ain't backing down. And this right here is why I continue to support her. Because there is no faltering here with her. She's a matter of fact about everything that she fucking saying. And she know who's saying what. So this, let me tell you something. This young lady, she got a fighting spirit. Okay, this is my type of chick here. She got a fighting spirit. So she up for the challenge. If you going against something that she's saying that she knows to be true, she coming at you. She ain't backing down. She ain't backing down. She like, prove it. Prove it. Ain't no skirting around the fucking, she knows what she knows. And that's what it is. But the fact that she's like, and it sounds like you've been talking to the ex-wife. Because that's exactly who said it in the interview. Okay, so Miss Chantel is clearing up. She's clearing up the facts from the fiction on this day that she went to jail. She said, so because Tasha K changed the topic. As soon as Miss Chantel was getting on her case about the fact that she, you talked to the ex-wife is the one who said that, Tasha K changed the subject. Now she wants to go back to the topic about what Miss Chantel told the police that day about the circumcised. So Miss Chantel said that day she remembers telling the police that the dad had been molesting her. He took her food stamp card, and she said she did tell the police that he was not circumcised, but she was trying to explain why she told the police that, because she admitted that she was wrong, but she was trying to explain to Tasha K why she said that. Tasha K interrupts her and says, and Tasha K says, and he had to prove to the police that he wasn't, and Miss Chantel was like, no, he didn't have to do that. So Miss Chantel is clearing up things, and she's saying that in regards to Tasha K's question, that the dad had to show the police that he was in fact circumcised. Miss Chantel is saying, no, I don't know why he chose to do that. She said, because I was trying, the ex-wife and him were trying to say that I attacked them. She said the ex-wife was trying to say that she attacked her. The ex-wife was trying to say that Miss Chantel attacked her. Remember, when the ex-wife was talking, she said she went out there to talk to the police, or she was talking to the police, and the police brought it to her attention that she was bleeding. Because the ex-wife is saying she didn't even know she was bleeding. And the ex-wife said she told the police that Chantel did. And Chantel said that she's the one who called the police because they wouldn't let her get her baby's stuff out the house. You know what I'm saying? So it's sounding like they did, the wife and possibly the dad did more agitation in the situation than they led us to believe in the interview. Because they tried to make it seem like Miss Chantel just went on this fucking crazy binge or something. And Miss Chantel said that's not how it went down. The ex-wife, Miss Chantel said she got on the phone with the police because the ex-wife was trying to say that she attacked her.